From the studios of Foxboro Cable Access, located in the center of Foxborough, Massachusetts, you are watching Around Foxborough.
Welcome to another episode of Around Foxborough. My name is Juri. I'm your host. Today we are having great guests. They are a filmmaker and actor that they recently made this wonderful film called The Process. Very excited to have you. So can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jake Fay. I'm the writer, director, and producer of the feature-length film, The Process.
And how about you?
And I'm Samantha Valletta. I play Emery, and I'm an actor in The Process.
Great. So Jake, let me start with you. So what is the movie, The Process, for the audience to know? Like, what's the story, if you can tell?
Yeah, it's really just a raw, dramatic story about local rappers from Lynn, Massachusetts, but really we want to connect to any inner city or anyone that's independent artist trying to, what they go through to make their art.
And then within the film, is there any drama? Just like, what is your main focus of making this original script in the film?
Yeah, I try to stay, just hyper specific to what it takes to make art as a someone from the inner city or anyone that's trying to make art at an independent, lower budget level. So we really stick with just what it takes to, go into the studio and making your music. How do you pay for that studio? What studios are you going to? So we really want to stick specifically to what it takes to make their music.
And I had a privilege to watch the film, and it came out really great. And then, how proud are you?
Yeah, I'm proud. It was a long process, no pun intended, of making the film. So once it finished up, there's always something you're editing or tweaking, but now it is kind of officially done. So it's like you had your child, you put your soul into the world, and now there's nothing more I can do to it. Hopefully people enjoy it, and I think they have been. They've got some good feedback, but it feels good to be done with it and to actually finish it. I know a lot of people maybe set out to make a feature and it's tough to finish it, so it's nice that we got it 100% done.
Mm. So as growing up, were you always wanting to become a filmmaker? Yeah,
I grew up, I was a basketball player. I played college basketball, and so I knew I wanted to do something creative when basketball ended. I went to film school in college as a student athlete, and I made as many films as I possibly could, even though it's tough with that scheduling. But I knew I wanted to do something creative and something that can inspire people, and I think telling stories on screen is a really good medium for that.
Which film school did you go?
The University of Hartford. They have a cinema program, yeah.
Wonderful. So is this your first feature film that you produced, or?
Yeah, first feature, yep. First feature. I graduated with my master's in 2018 and started pre-production on this film.
Have you done short too during the college?
Yeah, I did shorts. I feel like my senior thesis film was something I'm proud of, but some of the shorts are more just, almost like schoolwork. So some of them we're learning, and now we've done more with a few just shorts that I'm proud of. Some of them, again, are just more like schoolwork.
And what was your challenge of making feature film versus the short?
Just budgeting, casting, location. I did a lot of it myself as far as casting and locking locations, table reads. So it was a lot of obstacles. I don't want to call them challenges because some of them you just kind of work through, but a lot of obstacles trying to make it. But a lot of them are barriers of entry. So if you get through them, more opportunities will arise. So definitely just head first, almost talking it into an existence. Like, yeah, I'm making a feature film. Once you say it out loud, it's embarrassing if you don't make it. So you just keep telling yourself you're going to make it. And I thought that was pretty successful to do. Yeah.
And how did you go by casting? Did you have like an open call or like friends? Or?
Yeah, I casted a lot of people in the film that played themselves almost, or a version of themselves. So that was very helpful, getting a lot of local talent. I did some New England film posts online and got Samantha through that and other actors through that, which was really helpful. But yeah, all local casting and kind of word of mouth and figuring things out from other Boston productions and stuff like that.
So Samantha, you saw the posting for this call, and what did you think, and how did it happen?
Well, I was immediately attracted to the sides and the information that was given on, I think it was New England Film, right? That's where we met. Being an indie filmmaker myself, I absolutely loved what the process was about and how difficult it is to be in the indie filmmaking world when you don't have studio financial backing. So I wanted to help bring this to light, and I believed in Jake's vision, and I'm so thrilled that he made it.
So let's watch the trailer of the process as we discuss further about the film.
Sometimes I think there's a land curse. You think the land curse got a hold of you too?
I've been dying to get back in the studio the whole time I was in the pen. The city gonna feel my pain.
You're still rapping?
Yeah, focusing on my music full time.
It's a show in Providence, man. I forgot all about it. I think you'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, but sometimes I wonder if anybody believes in me. Not because they know me, but because they truly believe in my talent.
Now I got plans, they sort of deny. Give me the blood, I'm trying to get high.
I feel like there's nothing here for me, you know?
I disagree. I think there's a lot here for you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, I do.
Like what?
Well, first of all, me, I'm here. But seriously, your family, your friends, your people. Lynn is where your people are from.
Yeah, but I'm a rapper. The city doesn't support the talent.
It's a shame. He was much too young with a bunch of potential.
It ain't the city, bro. The city's the first big test. Once you conquer Lynn, the rest of the world gonna be easy.
It's hard for these Lynn rappers to see you out here chasing that bag. You gotta move in silence. You can't trust nothing but the process.
We believe in the city is sin. Never come out where you came in. Ask for water and they giving you gin. Girls say no, always give in.
Well, thank you so much for sharing the trailer. And how can people watch the full length of the movie?
So right now, we had exciting news. Last week, I signed a distribution deal with Indie Rights. It's a distribution company out of LA. So right now, they have the film, and we're waiting to get on some streaming platforms. So hopefully, the film will be totally out to the public within maybe a month or two through different platforms, whatever kind of wants to pick us up.
Did this just happen?
This was, recently. I think I signed about a week ago. So
wow.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so amazing. And then I saw some posts that you won some award or nominated.
Yeah, so we've gone into 4 festivals so far. We were nominated for Best Feature Film in the Urban Film Festival in Miami, Florida. We ended up not getting it, but it was still an honor to be nominated. We picked up the Bronze Prize for feature-length film in Urban Media Makers, which is down in Atlanta. And then we won Best Feature Film in the Massachusetts Independent Film Festival. And right now we're playing in the Orlando Film Festival down in Florida. So,
how exciting is
Yeah, pretty exciting. Yeah, it's really exciting. Hopefully we get into some more now that we've signed distribution. The festivals are more just kind of getting the name out of the film. But yeah, it's very exciting. It's always nice to put your soul into the world in this film, and then someone comes back and says, oh, it's pretty good. That always feels good.
And Samantha, you said you are filmmakers yourself too. Do you make film?
Yeah.
What kind of films are you making?
So I do a lot of all indie filmmaking as well, but I just wrapped on a satire for climate change activism. So I try to have a little bit of activism in my works, but I also do narratives and comedies as well. So.
And how long have you been doing that?
Well, I started performing when I was 3. So it's been a little over 20 years that I've been in the world, and I love it. Every day is exciting and it's new, and I feel very blessed to get to work with people like Jake. So.
And how did you like working on this specific film, the process?
I loved it, specifically being a Boston-based actor. I've done the LA thing, I did Manhattan for a while, but there's just something really, there's a deep passion that Boston has, and really Massachusetts in totality. Besides just the tax film incentive program, Massachusetts is a really fantastic place to start producing and filming your films. So, it's just, it's just really an exciting time to be part of the independent scene in totality because the state's really backing everyone up. So.
Wonderful. So are you based in Massachusetts?
Yeah, I'm based in Boston. I live in the North End. So I was really excited to get to film a project about Lynn, and my commute to work was nice and short, which was fantastic. But it's just great to have a community involved and having local artists, not just hiring all professional actors, but having the real people in your movie, you know, really gave it such a great sense of love and home pride. So
how many people were in the movie?
I think, could be wrong, but I think we had 35 speaking roles. And then we had, at one time, we had almost 50 extras on set. So it was a lot of, I wrote it in film school, and I always tell people I wrote it to, I'm not gonna write a movie if I can't make it, right? So I wrote this, hopefully that it was filmable, and then I sat down and started breaking scripts down. I was like, oh wow, we had a lot of speaking roles, we have a lot of locations, a lot of scenes. I'm like, I thought I made this filmable, and it ended up being filmable, but it was a lot. I had to cut a ton out, but yeah, I think 35 speaking roles we ended up having.
And who are some of the stars in the movie?
Samantha definitely is one of them for sure. Jason Gervasio, Marvin St. Jean, and then Adam Lon all had a bulk of the speaking roles. Jason was actually in, I want to say 99% of all the scenes. So he had a long work day for 11 straight days, but he did a great job.
Yes. Yeah, I'm having a privilege to work with Jason right now for the feature film that I'm working with, and he's just really, really great.
Yeah, he's
actor.
the best.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think in total of making feature film, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
But well, congratulations on
Thank you.
distribution deal and the film festivals, and then, having so many people on the set. And what is your next project and vision?
So right now I'm working on a feature-length documentary on Antonio Anderson, who is a local basketball player from Lynn, Massachusetts, who went on and played at the University of Memphis under John Calipari and broke a ton of records, and ended up getting poked in the eye early on in his college career, and was diagnosed with a rare eye disease, and then played in the NBA here and there, but the eye really kind of hurt him, and then he ended up playing outside in a tournament and lost his hearing completely from a firework. But now he's coaching back in Lynn, Massachusetts, and he's won 2 state championships for Lynn English, so it's a really pretty intense story. So we're working on budgeting right now for that feature-length film.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how about you? What are you working on?
Right now we're in post for my Earth Day climate change script, so hopefully that'll be done in the next month. And Jason's he stars in that as well, so.
Jason's getting all the love.
Yeah.
He's wonderful to work with. We love Jason. So hopefully my editor will be done with that this month, and we're hoping to do a premiere down at the Franklin Institute in Philly at the museum. So hopefully that happens.
So Samantha, you're not only just an actor, but filmmaker. So being on the set, was it easy for you?
Acting is definitely my favorite. It's where I feel pretty comfortable, I would say. But I do like to get out of my comfort zone. So producing and directing now definitely are the avenues I'm exploring. But acting is where my heart is, for sure.
Do you act too, Jake?
I mean, I think I'm funny enough where I could be on screen.
You can do it.
I leave it to the professionals, but if for maybe an extra role, something like that, I would do it. But I prefer to be behind the camera, It would be tough for me to remember a script, but if I got on there and someone said improv, I think I could do it. But no, it's a profession that I respect, and I will stay behind the camera.
Well, the process, when I watched it, it just like Auburn, kind of background, and the cinematography is really, really beautiful. I really love the scene where the guy was getting stabbed, and then the orange background.
Yeah.
How do you scout these locations? Did you just go and then oh, this is great?
Yeah, being from Lynn, I wrote it hyper specifically to every location. So we were lucky enough I wrote it in 2016, and 2019 I got to go to that location and shoot it, so that was awesome. And then Kathleen Castro, our DP, was just amazing to work with. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. And that scene you were talking about, actually, the fog rolled in, and we didn't even gaff or grip that. We just put the camera on a tripod and shot it, so that was awesome. We just got really lucky that day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was the one shot where it was like, wow, it was very easy and less obstacles to go through for that one.
And then, what kind of equipment did you guys have?
We put a lot of our budget into equipment. So we shot on an Alexa Mini camera with some great lenses, and then Evan from Hub Top Films had his grip truck.
Evan Schneider.
Yeah, yeah. So that was nice. So we had some fun toys to play with for sure.
That's wonderful. And then what are the audience that you are targeting? Like, I know you just got a distribution deal, which is really amazing. But like this movie, like, who are you, like, what are you thinking that you want to target?
I think anyone a fan of rap music in some sense will enjoy the film because we have 26 original songs in it. So the music was great, and that's something I've always believed in local Lynn music. But then anyone that's really into perseverance and patience in making their art I think will enjoy this film. So I think there's a specific audience in that, like maybe 20 to 35-year-old range that's into rap music. But then anyone that's into a gritty, dramatic story about people, putting their all into making their art.
And who wrote these 26 original music?
I got a lot of friends in Lynn that rap, so I had all Lynn rappers. It was all local music that made the songs.
So you're originally from Lynn?
Yeah, originally born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what was the challenge of playing your role?
Well, I'm not from Lynn, unfortunately, so I couldn't relate to everyone that was really in the cast. But my job is to relate. So I would say the biggest challenge was just, I related because being an artist, it's very difficult, especially as we've been talking about being an underground art house artist. It's really hard to kind of persevere and to keep going in the face of so much rejection. So even though I don't necessarily work within the rap world, I love rap music. I appreciate all genres of music. So the 26 original songs, when we heard them at the original table read, blew my mind. And so that helped to get into the mindset of where these people were coming from. Because if you really take the time to listen to the lyrics, they tell the story about Lynn and their own struggles. So I listened to a lot of the music to get into character, for sure.
Wow. So I know you both are filmmaker and you're slash actor, obviously. But what would you say to the people? How do you, carry your passion, in everyday life?
Yeah, I'd say it's a sacrifice to do it. But if you want to do it, you have to just do it. I think it's maybe that's simplified, but you just have to just go out and do it. And I always think, in my own way, I think speaking it into an existence, like if you just say you're going to do it and then start doing it, most likely you'll do it. If you're putting it off, then you're never going to do it. And I think this was a self-funded film. I was lucky enough to play college basketball where I didn't have college loans, so that's obviously an advantage I had. Some people won't have that advantage, but just making your art as much as possible and by any means necessary.
And how about you?
Ditto. But also, just manifesting it 1000%, and exactly what Jake was just saying, wake up and say you're going to do it and commit to it. And I also really believe in collaboration over competition. That's kind of my motto. So reach out to your local community, which is what so much of this film promotes, and use the people that are there to support you, the people that know you, your hometown, and people will root for you if you're rooting and working hard for yourself. So just manifest it and keep going, and don't stop by any means necessary. So.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of work. People don't understand, when they watch the film, how much of the work that goes behind of that an hour and 45 minutes or so, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And we shot this on an 11-day schedule, so it was really compacted just because our budget only allowed for that much. But I think we put a lot of work in preparation for it. That once we got on, and we did a ton of table reads with our main cast. So when we were there, we were, at most maybe a 4-take, depending.
Nice.
The shoot on the beach that Samantha was in, we had a wind, we had rain, we had a little bit of everything. It was, I think, maybe the 5th day of shooting, so Jason was a little tired, but we just had a good community of people around us, and everyone felt comfortable. It was a great environment to work in, I think.
It's long, grueling days. I mean, on average, it's a 12-hour day when you're working in the film world, and you have to just keep going and maintain your health and your sanity. But just know that when you get to the other side, it's all going to be worth it. Because our job is to make it look easy. When you see a film, you just enjoy it for that 90 minutes, but it's months and months and months of work. But if you just believe in yourself and you have a great community around you, anything's possible.
Yes, and I'm a filmmaker myself and an actor, so I completely understand your sacrifice and pain, joy, everything into it.
Definitely. I wore Vans on the first 2 days on set, and that wasn't a good idea. Vans aren't supposed to put you up for 12 hours, so I made that adjustment, and we moved on well. Right.
So what do you think is the biggest take of making this film?
I think Samantha touched on it, is collaborating with people. I think being really the only producer on the film was a lot of hands-on work for me. But once I had a really good post-production crew. We had a color correctionist, Ariana Shining Star from LA, who did a great job, and then Gary Arnold in Brooklyn was our sound engineer. So once you kind of give those people the film and really believe in what they're going to do with it, it's very nice to kind of get the film out of your hands and let people. I think even with Catherine, our DP, is letting people. I want to give people that creative room, whether it's the actor or any kind of crew member. I don't want to, over direct people. I want to give people. Everyone brings their own thing to the table, and I want to let them rock with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I loved that about working with you, is you let all of the artists get to do their job to the best of their ability, and that's really encouraging. So.
Yes, I completely agree. So, do you have Facebook? Do you have?
Yeah, we're on Facebook at The Process Film. You can find us on Instagram as well at the Process Film _ at the end of that. And we post stuff, almost daily, trying to keep people engaged in the film, and get, kind of tell the whole story of even making the film and what it takes to make a film in Lynn, Massachusetts. We see so many Hollywood films come in and shoot in Lynn, so now we want to tell people, hey, you can make the film here about some 1950s Detroit or whatever, but there are stories being told and being made every day in inner cities that should be told.
I see. And when you are putting yourself out there in the future, and if actors or anybody want to be involved in your filmmaking process, how can people get in touch with you? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
I think an email is always the best. I think it's the easiest thing to keep track of. So you can find me at fayjake7@gmail.com, which is FAY Jake, and then the number 7 at Gmail. Which is always the best way to find me. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I really appreciate you guys coming here today and then talk about the process. And I really admire you guys because, again, like I'm in it right now.
You understand? Yeah.
Yes, of course. And then it's just an art that so many people have to manifest, like you said, and focus and put it together from just written paper, the script, to realization of acting and all that, scenes and everything.
Definitely.
So congratulations to you guys.
Thank
and then
you so
I'm
much.
looking forward to seeing you blossom and win Oscar. And
Fingers crossed.
yes, and then go farther, and then that your filmmaking career would definitely touch a lot of human beings and really stay focused on that creative path.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So Jake, thank you again, and then please give our audience your last word.
I would say the last word is keep being creative, keep telling stories that maybe aren't always told, and believe in yourself and believe in your community.
Wonderful. How about you, Samantha?
Just keep manifesting your dreams and go watch The Process.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of Around Foxborough. My name is Juri. Our executive director is Michael Weber, and our director is Paul Beck. We are at fcatv.org. If you missed another episode of Around Foxborough, you can go to Video on Demand and then click on Around Foxborough. Thank you again for watching our program.